Hello friends, I'm Kim Passable. Welcome back to my shop. It's shop time with Kim Passable. I'm a trans woman. We can do anything. And I'm going to start with an unboxing. Alright, the parking. Oh shit. So this is the only spot I can find in this garage that has anything like decent lighting. I mean, there's lots of light, but it's terrible for recording. I'm gonna do the lighting and I'll probably tack that on to the end as a montage at the end of the video. And right now we are gonna jump to the task of the day, which is going to be an unboxing and installation of some important new parts for the van. Alright, not gonna lie, I almost gave up 2 or 3 times messing with this lighting. I mean, like, come on, a little bit on the harsh side. And that tripod, it's held together with baling wire and electrical tape. But I just kept plugging away because I want to do this. I actually want to get this done. And I cannot put it together without making the video about what I'm doing. Content doesn't get made that way. Hello friends, I'm Kim Passable. Today I'm here working on my van. I've been working on my camper van since May of this year, and after a 4.5 hour each direction trip to Baltimore, Maryland, I have determined that the steering system needs an even more major overhaul. The upper and lower ball joints, as well as the pivot arm bolts have been replaced. The front wheel bearings have been adjusted properly and have a minimal amount of play. I've looked it over, hun. Stem to stern, tip to toe, the front suspension it's tight, you know, you kick it around and stuff like that. All the little knuckles and everything. This thing still wanders. The effect is like a spring-loaded kind of weirdness. You have to turn a little more than you would think to get it to go, and then if you hit a bump, it goes that way because it's loaded up, right? And so then you have to overcompensate back in the other direction, and depending on what the wheels are riding on and how much force drag they're getting in this direction or that, you're gonna get like this. You know, and if you get on a very good, smooth, straight piece of road, it'll go kind of nice with, you know, about this much play. But in Pennsylvania, the mountain roads are windy and bumpy and irregular. And the surface changes from concrete to asphalt to Lord knows what that stuff is that they're trying to use as road paving. I can't do it. I get so much tension that I'm going to go flying off the road, and really it's an indication that parts are worn. And the part that we need today, the part that that I invested my money in is this is a steering box. These vans generally are all about the same. This is an e-150, and it has power steering. And the gearbox takes the turny like this, and it turns it to a movie like this arm, and the movie arm turns the wheels like that. This van is big, and it can tow a lot. And so it needs to have something that won't break, so that it can be safe. And that's what you get when you're starting out new. I don't know what happened to the other one. It wasn't leaking particularly or anything like that, but it seems like one of the bearings has gone out in it. The shafts that turn like this, one of them they go like this instead of staying perfectly rigid and spinning properly. They kind of go like this. And that part there is springy, and it's not good. It isn't safe. And anyone who test drove it would see that it doesn't feel really, I know. I had a 67 Dodge Dart that had a manual steering box that kind of exhibited the same behavior, and I did some work on it and couldn't figure out what the heck was wrong with the car. And the new owner, when I sold it, they were aware that it was a little bit wandery. They replaced the steering box and said that that was definitely what it needed. Oh, here she is. She's heavy. This is where the shaft for the steering wheel shaft goes in, and this is where the pitman arm bolts on. Pitman arm and the pitman. When you spin this, this turns like this. This is the replacement part, and this is the one that has been removed. It's already been rebuilt at some previous time in its life. It's worn out again. So they don't last 200,000 miles, folks. I think this one probably has a lot of miles on it. It's really hard to tell. I mean, it's dirty and it's greasy, but it doesn't look as bad as the rest of some of the underside of the van. So I don't know how long it's been on there or how many miles it has on it, but it's definitely problematic. And we're going to, once we put the new one on and verify that the new one works properly, we're going to turn it in because there is an $80 core refund when I give it back to the auto parts store. Okay, if it steers good, I'm cool with $200. Putting it in and taking it out is the big part of it. Okay, so we're under the van. The really tricky part here that I'm going to try and film for you, if I can be successful at it, is that we need to put the box in. We need to put the box in and align it with the steering shaft that it comes down, and get it to spline up and push it onto the shaft, and then get one bolt caught so that that one bolt can catch it. But we can't put all the bolts in because we need to rotate it at an awkward angle to realign this pitman arm. I'd like heck and couldn't get this knuckle out of this pitman arm, and I could get the tool to do it, but that would take me another trip to the hardware or to the auto parts store. I don't know, if this is like a knuckle buster and I can't get it on the first or second try, then let's see if we can avoid it. I figured out a way to get it out of there without doing it. So, okay, that's the ticket. We got to line into that. It's got splines and stuff in it. Got to get it lined up into there. If we can get it to line up to that shaft and that bolt, it would be simple if it didn't weigh so much. God, is it heavy. And I don't have another jack, so I really got to do this like we call this the brute force method, when you use your strength instead of your brains. And since I don't have a lot of brains, okay, there's a flat shaft on the shaft that goes down. Let's just in there, see if it's anywhere close. Oh man, I think it might have gone right in. Don't tease me like that. It didn't. It didn't go. Oh man, I was so excited I thought we had it. Oh, it's heavy. Woo, it's heavy. Let's see. This bolt is really, really close to the frame. So before you tighten the box down, before I tighten the box down, I need to at least the way I'm doing it, I need to be able to rotate it a few degrees, and then I can put the still installed fitment arm in place. Get it started a little bit there, with it rotated out this way a little bit. See, I'll have to put it up into there when I'm done, but we put this rather large rock washer, and then 32 millimeter nut. Now there is one of the splines on this box is different than all the others, so you'll need to make sure you get it lined up with the correct splinage. Then you will need a bracket that I did not set out for myself, so now I have to flounder around like a stupid fish. Where's the racket? I thought forever was forever, but apparently it's not when the company goes out of business. I bought a Forever Guaranteed Craftsman kit when I was about 17. It cost me about $100, and it had a very wide selection in it, and it has served me pretty well, I have to say. To put that on to, I don't know, so it's tight. I don't know how many ooga boogas it's going to be, but it's probably a lot, so I'm just going to push on it until my arm hurts. Little tip on starting vehicles indoors. Don't start vehicles indoors. Ugh. Ooh. Whew. I was bleeding out the power steering fluid was a little what needed. You have to turn the wheel lock to lock to fill the box up with the new fluid and get all the lines filled back up. And that was taking a moment because the reservoir ran dry and I had to fill it back up again. And then right about then I started feeling very sick, and I realized that I had been working with the garage closed and the vehicle running. Luckily today it is not too cold. So all we did was open up the garage and air her out a little bit, but whoo, big brain. It's going good. No leaks so far. So we've got the mostly bled. Let me show you what's going on, and I'm not too worried, but explain it to you a little bit. There it started. Sounds good. There's a little, as I turn the wheel, there's a grinding noise. Okay, shut it off. All right, now I don't think there's anything wrong. I think what this is the pressure release on the pump. Yeah, that's the pressure release on the pump, and the fact of it is that pump hasn't had new fluid in it in a while, and now it's generating lots and lots of pressure, which is good, and I believe there's air in the pump. And well, I'm sure there's air in the pump because I ran the reservoir dry when I was bleeding out the system. And so that makes little bubbles. And how you can tell that you've got little bubbles in there, the fluid is bright pink. And if you look really close, you could see that it's bright pink bubbles. It's foaming, which is, I think if we just let it stand, that those bubbles will kind of just like fall out of it, and then on the next start it won't have so much air in it and it won't foam so much. And so this is a problem that will resolve itself with just a little bit of time. We're going to end the video here because that's all the time I have for today. I'm going to shut up the lights and just leave it here, and I'll let you know how it drives. Boy, the feel, the precision in the feel, it's there already. I can tell that this is going to make a huge difference in driving. So I cannot wait to take her for a spin, and I will see you next time when we will do that. Well, I'm back from doing lighting. As you can see, the glare is, I don't know what to do. I do have enough light to work and see what I'm doing. And so, like, we're making progress. You could see I have a light. I have a floor light here that's got a reflector. I've got lights here in the corner that have a reflector. I have a light, the light under the hood with a diffuser, and there's lights underneath the van with diffusers. But I mean, you can kind of see, like you could see, like, look what we're doing, stuff, you know? Here's the part that I'm taking out, you know? And then without the lights, and yeah, you can't see a thing. So lighting is important. But I've got these giant windshields under my face so I can see because I am blind. So we've got that glare to contend with. We've got a lot of work to do. This garage isn't big enough to put giant light diffusers and stuff in. And this isn't a permanent home yet either. You know, if you want to donate a bunch of money to me so that I can rent an actual studio, you would be my hero. We've got it. We've got a garage, we've got heat, we've got light, we've got tools, we've got parts. It's all coming together, folks. I think that we're ready to get to work.